Hello and welcome to a messy playthrough of the game Star Trek Captain's Chair. This game isn't out yet, should be out in the first quarter of next year, 2025. But I was able to get a copy at GridCon, the gaming convention that Paul Groban from Gaming Rules organizes every year. I was one of the lucky few, 12 people there were able to get a copy. We had a small tournament there. Since then, this was in November, I've played the games about 35 times, and I thought it was time to share the fun and let you see how it plays. This will be messy because this is my first playthrough ever. I'm not an experienced video guy. English isn't my native language, but being messy is part of the fun. So I don't mind, and I hope you don't either. I will not be doing a full teach. I will be talking through my turns and through what my opponent will be doing. As you can see, I'm playing Benjamin Lafayette Sisko against the bot Koloth the Dahar Master. We both get 6 away teams. Koloth is very aggressive in getting planets for the Klingon Empire. So let's see how we do. So without further ado, let's get messy. First of all, as you can see, I've got a deployed ship here. The bot starts with every card that should be deployed on top of its deck. So I know one of the first cards he'll be getting is going to be his ship. And for me, I've got my normal draw deck of 5. I've got the Space 9 deployed. I've got Bajor deployed. And let's see what we draw. I'm playing at captain level difficulty. After 35 plays, I feel like I should be able to handle this. And let's see if this turns out to be true. So, I draw 5 cards. I've got some of my favorites in there. And I will start by playing Quark, except I'm not going to play him for his action. I'm going to use the Space 9 to promote Quark to my duty officer. Because he's the guy who's going to get me some Latinum every turn. And maybe some glory as well. So that did not take an action, so I will use an action to play the wormhole. The wormhole is a location. And when I play this, I will take control of this location. I may then free play a ship. So I will also play the USS Rio Grande, the runabout, and deploy this without having to use an action for this. Now, apart from taking control of the location, free playing the ship, I can also now look at the top 3 cards of the location deck and see which ones I want to have on top or on the bottom. And since Sisko is really about getting star bases, I will put the star base on top of the deck and put the other ones on the bottom. So that was one of my actions. I've got 2 left. And let's see if I want to spend any cards in my hand or if I want to use Sisko's activation of sending an away team to a Starfleet or Starbase location. If I don't, then I can now use him to get 2 dilithium because that's his ability. A reaction after I take control of a location, I can get 2 dilithium. And I think I will actually not do this because I am going to use his activation, spending an action to send an away team to a location with Starfleet, which is going to be Tolgana 4. So I have 1 action left. I have 2 cards in hand. Both of them take an activation to play. I don't have any free play cards in hand. I could, however, use the wormhole discarding a person to warp a ship so that I can at least also send out the Rio Grande without spending dilithium. And I think I will actually do this. So I'm going to activate the wormhole, discarding Jadzia to warp the Rio Grande to Tolgana 4. For my last play, I will play Utilize. I can either gain steps here on my specialty track. That would be just 1 influence because I only have 1 yellow matching skill icon. Or I can just gain some dilithium. It would be 1 + 2 for every controlled location. So in this case it would be 5. And I'm fine with gaining 5 dilithium. Alright, so the Rio Grande is deployed. Jazzy is in my discard pile. Quark is over there. I do want to get out an away team on Bajor fairly soon because it's going to allow me to draw a card every turn. Except I don't have any ways to get them there yet, so that's not going to happen this turn. So at the end of my turn, first I check if I have any cleanup actions. I don't. I don't have the start date card in front of me either, so I'm not going to do anything with that. I will just put one glory from the start date card on one of the cards on the right, and I think I'll do it on, on Jared Dahl, the Cardassian person. After that, it's discard, so I take back all of my activation tokens. I will refresh everything. I'll discard all cards I've played to my discard pile. And then I'll draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new cards. So, over to Koloth. Currently, he has 3 actions per turn. So, we would first check if he is controlling any of the neutral locations. He is not. So we'll just take the top 3 cards of his draw deck and go through them one by one. These cards determine what he will do. First, we'll check if any of the traits that are on Koloth cards are on the cards we just drew. We're looking for weapon, attack, Romulan, and scientist. If none of these tags are on there, we check the other cards and we'll check the suits. Is it an incident, a ship, an ally, a cargo, a person, a directive, an encounter, or a location, and we'll do what it says over there. Currently, Koloth does not have a duty officer. Once he does get one, we'll turn over this one, and the actions change. So, first of all, we know what we're getting. It's the IKS Groth. The tag is just Klingon. Klingon is not on the trade cards. So we check the other side, and we see it's a ship. When we draw a ship, we deploy the ship. So we'll put this here, and deploy the ship, and then it will explore. Now, exploring means it's going to go to the location with the highest points without any of my stuff there. So currently that's going to be this area. He's going to send his ship over there. And then he will also send an away team to a neutral location. It's going to be the same location. So he already has 2 presents there, just like I do at Tildana 4. First action done. Second action, we have a Klingon Imperial card. Those aren't on his traits either. So it's a location, and we'll see location means we are going to log the top card of the bot deck. So we'll check the top card of the bot deck. If it's an incident, we just return it. We don't log it. But in this case, Krell gets logged. He's out of his deck. Then we discard the top 2 cards of the bot deck. And then if a ship is in the bot discard pile, he would gain 1 glory. There are none. So he's not getting the glory. The end of this phase, once he's done with all those cards, locations that are still in play are then moved over here so that he also controls those, and that's important for some other cards. Lastly, we have Arn Darwin. He's a spy. He has human, attack, and Klingon, and attack is one of the traits that is on Koloth traits card. So when we see attack, we will junk the most valuable card in the market, ignoring any with tokens. Currently, the most valuable card to me is the Nobulence, because it's worth 3 points. So that one gets jumped and replaced by a new card. After that, it says, if able, return a ship from the discard pile to the top of the bot deck. There are no ships in the discard pile, so we can't do that. Otherwise, if I am able, I have to dismiss a ship. I am able because I do have a ship there. I can either dismiss the Rio Grande or I could dismiss Deep Space Nine. And Deep Space Nine is very versatile to me. I can use it to beam cards there. I can use it to promote people to duty officer. So I kind of feel like it's better to just dismiss the Rio Grande. That's his attack done, which means his 3 actions are done. We move these to his discard pile, and he'll be putting this one on the one that's worth the least points to me. Currently, that's the case on Radar, because it's worth 0 points to me at the moment. It's now worth 1 point. And that's his turn done. Back to me. I've got, first I'll check if I have any resupply actions. I do. Quark gains me 1 Latinum. I can't take control of any planets because I only have one presence over there. So let's see what I'm going to do with my 5 cards. And I think I want to make sure that I will draw cards first to get access to some new cards. Once I've gone through my deck and I have to draw a card when I don't have a draw deck, I'll reshuffle my discard pile and I'll put 1 card from my reserve on top of it. There are 5 cards in the reserve. Once those are done, I can buy even better cards. But let's go through the reserve deck first. Now, I do have a card that lets me draw a card and discard a card. It would be set a course. I'm just checking if I want to do anything else before that. And I think I might as well. I'm gonna play Kira Nerys. She has 2 abilities. The bottom one is gaining 3 military influence and 1 glory. My opponent would then gain 1 influence. But the top one is finding people of Bajor and dismissing an opponent's Cardassian or Dominion card of my choice. I would then promote this card to duty officer. And I am actually going to do this. Finding means checking your discard pile, your hands, your draw deck for certain cards. But you can also check your reserve. So I'm going to check my reserve, finding people of Bajor, and taking it into my hands. So that's 1 card gone from my reserve already. I would then promote this card to duty officer. So she will remove Quark as duty officer. Kira is now my duty officer. She has a reaction after my opponent takes control of a location. I can draw a card and gain 1 dilithium. So now I have people of Bajor in my hands. So I will play them rather. To either take an incident, gain 1 influence and draw a card, or to send an away team to a location, and I may spend 2 Latinum to send another away team to the same location. The card would then be locked, and I don't feel like that's the best thing to do now. So I'm just going to use my top action. I'm going to take an incident. I'm going to gain 1 influence. And I'm drawing a card. And my draw deck is empty, so I shuffle my discard pile. Put the top card from my reserve on there and draw a card, which is Odo. Constable Odo. Now, I have 2 incidents in the hand, and I don't really like incidents because they clog up my deck. But before I'll do anything about it, I'll first just play set a course. I could either discard persons from my hand to send the same number of away teams to the same location, or I can draw a card and then discard a card. I could then also warp 2 of my ships. I don't have any ships in play. The top action, discarding people to send them to send away teams to a location, does cause an action. The bottom card does not. And I think I will actually use the top parts. I will discard Odo to send an away team to Bajor. Because once I have an away team on Bajor, I can activate Bajor to draw a card, which is Quark. So 1 action left. I could, if I want to, play Quark, spending 1 Latinum to scan 1 of person, which means I could look at the top card of the person deck and either take that one or take Jorandal. Or I could just use Deep Space Nine again and promote Quark back. I might actually do that because Kira currently is my duty officer and Koloth is not taking control of a location this turn. So yeah, I'm going to use Deep Space Nine, promoting Quark to duty officer again. I've used this action so that he will gain me some dilithium again soon. Alright, so I'm going to play Analyze for its free play action to gain 2 more dilithium. And I will then, let's see, I will play Hostile Contacts, discarding a card to return this card. So I'm going to discard Political Crisis to return hostile contact. And that also used an action. Which means I've gone through all my actions. One card in hand that I can't play. I don't have any free actions to do, so I will just end my turn there. I don't have any cleanup. I don't have the start date card, so I will place a glory. And I'll put it on the Bolians. I will then discard everything I played. I will refresh all my cards. And I will draw 1, 2, 3. 2 more cards. One will be from the reserve. So 4 and 5. And my new card is Miles O'Brien. Alright. So back to my friend Koloth. He still has 3 actions. He's not controlling any locations at the moment. So his first action will be a directive. Directive means discarding the top 3 cards of the bot deck. He only has 2 cards in his draw deck. So discarding 2. Reshuffling his discard pile. And putting the top card from his reserve on top here. I still have to discard 1 card. So that's the card that will discard. Now after this we give him 1 military influence. He will take an incident and he will send an away team to a neutral location. So he is now getting close to controlling this area. Second action, a ship, the IKS Koloth. When he gets a ship, we deploy the ship. We have it explore. Explore is going to go to the location with the fewest tokens, which will be here. And after this, he will send an away team to a neutral location. Now he will send it here because he has 3 presence there already. This will make it 4. He's fine with over controlling by 1. He's just making sure that I don't swoop in and take the planet from underneath him. So that's that card done. Lastly, we have Korax, a person with Klingon and attack. Attack is on the trade card, so he will junk the most valuable card in the market, which is currently this one, because all the other ones have tokens on them and he can't junk anything with a token on it. After this, he will return a ship from the discard to the top of the bot deck. He can't. So then he forces me to dismiss a ship. Now, I only have 1 ship out at the moment, which is Deep Space Nine. So he dismisses Deep Space Nine to my discard pile. And that's his turn done. He'll discard these. He's going to put this one on the card that's worth the fewest points to me, which is currently the cloaking device. And it's back to me again. First of all, Quark activates his resupply actions. I get a Latinum. And let's see what I'm going to do. Well, let's start before I forget by activating Bajor, drawing a card. I will then play Miles O'Brien, drawing 2 cards and discarding 1 of them. And I'll discard Odo for now. So let's see what I have. I am gonna play Recruit. I'm gonna take an incident to gain an ally. I'm gonna take the Bolians. Bolians are very nice. It takes an action to give me an influence, drawing a card, and I can then free play the drawn card. So I'm gonna put this one on top of my deck here. Now, after I've done that, I am gonna play Jadzia, who's gonna spend 1 of my precious Latinum to return an incident. This goes back to the bottom of the incident deck, gaining me a glory, which clears this card, giving it to Koloth, putting 6 more glory on here. And since I spent some Latinum, I'm going to activate Quark to gain another glory. That's 2 of my actions done. Last one I'm going to use here is playing the USS Rio Grande. So that one's back here. It's deployed. And I will then play set a course, drawing a card, then discarding a card. Now this is kind of dumb. I knew I was going to draw this one, so I shouldn't have put it on top of my deck, but I should have put it here. So I'm drawing a new card, then I'm discarding a card, and I might as well discard this one. I can then warp up to 2 of my ships, so I'm going to warp the Rio Grande back there. Then I will play Analyze to gain some more dilithium. I have 1 card left in my hands. Can't really do anything with that, so that's my turn done. I don't have any cleanup actions. I don't have to start 8 cards, so I'm just going to place some glory. And I might as well put it on the Edosians. And I will clean up all of this. And draw some new cards. So 2 here, shuffle my discard pile. My discard pile is pretty big now, my draw deck, which I don't really like. I want to get through the deck as fast as possible to get some of those fancy new cards. So I'm drawing Strange New World as my new cards, plus 2 more to have 5 in it. Back to Koloth. He still has 3 actions, but currently he is now controlling Dosaria. So first things first, we will take control of Dosaria. Replaced by Deep Space K7. He gets back his away teams, and the Groth is discarded. And now we check. Dosaria has just a Breen tag that's not on Koloth's traits, so we do the location action, which says I have to lock the top card of the bot deck. That's an incident, so we won't log it, we'll just return it there. And after that, we discard the top 2 cards of the bot deck. If a ship is in the bot discard pile, there is the Groth, he would gain 1 glory. So we take 1 from the stardate card. That's controlling this location. Then we draw 3 cards, those will be his actions. He still has 1 ship in play. And his first action is a weapon and an attack. Weapon is the first tag over here. So you will junk the most valuable card in the market, and he can't because everything has a token on it. He will then gain 1 military, and if he had 9 plus and his duty officer was a Klingon, you would gain some points and dismiss the officer. However, that's not the case. So otherwise, if able, I remove an away team. So I will remove this away team from the planet. And if I couldn't do this, he would gain 1 military. Next directive. He will discard the top 3 cards of the bot deck. So that's the first one done. I will reshuffle and put the top card from his reserve there. So 2 more still to discard. And once I've done this, he will take 1 military and taking an incident, sending an away team to a neutral location. Then his last action is another attack. So he's junking the most valuable card in the market. He can't. He wants to return a ship from his discard pile, but he can't. There are no ships in his discard pile. So, if able, I have to dismiss a ship again. The roundabout is destroyed by the Klingons. Yes, that's all 3 actions done. These go to the discard pile. He will now first clean up the market. So these all get removed. And he'll put 1 glory on the card that was the fewest of me for me, which will be the biobed. And it's back to me. So, first of all, Quark gets me a Latinum. Thank you, Quark. Then I have some options. And let's start with playing Kira. I'm using the bottom part of her card, gaining me 3 military and 1 glory. And my opponent gains an influence. Then I will see, play Miles O'Brien. I'm going to draw 2 cards and discard one of them. Now I draw the Bolians and I draw Deep Space Nine. I'm going to discard Deep Space Nine. Probably not very wise, but I will do this. So now I know if I play the Bolians that I will draw a card and can free play the card. So I might want to gain something that I could then free play by playing the Bolians. I could either gain an ally, or I could, well, basically that's it. The ally isn't that bad actually, but a bit too early to play yet. So let's start with first drawing a card from Bajor. That's Odo. Now I can play Odo to duplicate the play operations of a person or a cargo from the market. So I could basically do Phlox's action, or I could use the Bio-Bats action. And Phlox action is returning an incident from my hands, which is kind of nice, except I don't have any in my hand at the moment. But I could get one in my hand by playing Recruits. Now let's just do the Bolians first. So I'm gonna gain an influence. I'm gonna draw cards. I may free play this card, which I will. It says I can discard a card to return this card, or if I have an ambassador in play, I would return this card and gain some Latinum. Now I don't have any ambassador tags in play, so I will just discard a card, which will be Strange New Worlds, to return this card. So one more to go. Let's first play People of Bajor, and using the top part, I'm going to take an incident to gain one more influence and draw another card. And now there is another decision to make. Do I want to play Odo to return an incident by copying Phlox? Because I do have an incident in hand. No, I'm not. I have one action left, so I'm going to use this action to play Energy Drain. I have to spend 2 dilithium to return this card. But if I have an engineer in play, and I do, Miles O'Brien is an engineer, I gain back the action. So that's the incident gone. Then I really should get some ships out. The Klingons keep destroying mine. One of my goals is having 4 ships out at the same time. So I will use Analyze, taking another incident to gain a ship. And it's either taking the USS Enterprise C or the top card of the ship deck. I'm taking the top card of the ship deck. It's the Dekir Cruiser, which is a very nice card. So I will just put this one on top of my deck. I have 3 cards left, and I can't really do that much with them because they don't have any free play actions. I don't have any ships to beam them to. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. I don't want to save any of these cards in my hands. So I don't have any cleanup actions. Don't have the Stardate cards. So I will just play some Glory, put it on Phlox. He gets this card. He puts 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Glory on the cards. Refresh these ones. Discard everything. I'm going to discard my full hand. I could keep some cards, but I don't want to. And I draw 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. My 5th card will be this one from my reserve deck, and I have now drawn all 5 of my reserve deck cards. So the next time I go through my deck, I can spend some dilithium and or latinum to buy a specific card from my discard pile. And that's me done. So I have some ships in hand now, which is nice. But first, let's see what Koloth does. He's still got 3 actions. He's not controlling any locations. So we're taking these 3 cards, and I'm going to take this one in hand as well, so I don't forget to clean up the market when he's done. So his first action is going to be an incident. He has no duty officer, and then the incident says he would either gain 1 card with a red thing here. There aren't any. So then he would either gain a person or a ship, whichever is worth more points to him. Ship is currently worth 1 point. The person is worth 2. So he's taking Dr. Phlox and the glory that's on him. It's being replaced by Ambassador Kamarek. After this, he will send an away team to a neutral location. And he's letting me draw a card, which is nice. So I'm drawing Kiranerys. Discard. Incident gets returned. So next one, an incident. Sorry, not an incident, a directive. You will discard the top 3 cards of the bot deck. 1, 2, 3. He's gonna gain 1 military. He will take an incident. And he will send an away team to a neutral location. Next, he has an attack. So he will junk the most valuable card in the market, which is the ally. He will then return a ship from his discard pile, and there are none, sadly. So he will, he wants me to dismiss a ship. I don't have any ships out at the moment, so he will gain a glory. And that's the attack done. So then we first clean up the market. So all of these cards are gone. And he'll put a token on the one that's worth the least to me, which currently is this one, because it's worth F0 to me because I don't have any research yet. And it's back to me. So Quark gives me 1 Latinum, and I can see what I want to do. Now, I will start by playing Kira, giving me 3 more militaries for a total of 6. I will also gain a glory, and my opponent gains an influence. I will then play the Dakir Cruiser, and because I have 6 military, I can use the bottom part. It requires 5 military. I deploy the ship, and I can warp it, and I can then send an away team to the ship's location. So I'm going to warp it here to the Deep Space K7 and send an away team there. That's my second action. Now I only have 3 yellow influence, so I can't play the Defiance for its bottom action, but I might as well first use Bajor to draw cards, which is the recruit directive. 1 more action to go. I'm very tempted to just play the Defiant, but first let's play set a course, drawing a card, then discarding a card. So I drew Odo, and I will discard recruit, and then I will play the Defiance. I deploy and warp the ship. And let's warp it to am I doing this? Yeah. So I'm playing Defiance, I'm warping it to Tulgana 4. This might seem strange, but I don't really want to lose my ship to controlling locations. And this prevents Koloth from beaming cards, beaming away teams there. So both of these cards have just warped for free. I don't think I'm gonna use Odo soon, so I'm gonna beam Odo to the Defiance. I'm gonna activate Defiance, discard a card to beam a card here. So I'm discarding Utilize and beaming Odo there. And I'm gonna do something weird. I'm gonna keep Jadzia because I think I might be getting some incidents. And Jadzia is good for getting rid of those and gaining me some extra glory, especially when when Quark is out. Alright, so that's all of my actions done. Because I used one to play the Defiant, one to play the Gear Cruiser, one to play Kira. I don't have the Stardate card, so I don't have to do anything there. I do have to place Glory, so I'll put this one on Zephyr Cochrane, keeping this card and drawing 4 more. And I did actually draw the incident, so that's nice to see. Alright, so Koloth still taking 3 actions, but before he does that, he takes control of the Ancient Relay Station, which gets replaced by Durna. The tokens go here, his ship goes to his discard pile. The card has Alien and Communication, those are not in a straight, so I'm going to do the location text, which says to lock the top card of the bot deck. It's an incident, so I don't lock it, it gets to the bottom of the incident pile. We will discard the top 2 cards of the bot deck. There's 1. I have to shuffle, put this one on top and then discard that because I have to discard 2 cards. So this one will be discarded. And then if a ship is in the bot discard pile, he would gain 1 glory. There are no ships in discard pile, so he's not getting any glory. But he has taken control of another planet. So 3 actions still. And the first one is an attack. You will junk the most valuable card in the markets, which is the Type 3 Disruptor Pistols. If able, he would return a ship from the discard pile to the top of the bot deck. He is not. So I have to dismiss a ship again. Let's dismiss the Gear Cruiser. It's gone. Next card, another location. He will, it has Imperial and Klingon. So let's see, he has to lock the top card of the bot deck, which is nice because it's a scientist, and the scientist tag is very valuable to him. He will discard the top 2 cards of the bot deck. There are no ships in the bot discard pile, so he's not gaining any glory, and this one will be under his control at the end of his turn. I might have made a mistake earlier, and this should have been in his control already. I don't remember, but as I said, it's going to be a messy playthrough. So, last one. It's a directive discarding the top 3 cards of the bot deck. 1, 2, 3. He would then gain 1 military, taking an incident and sending an away team to a neutral location. And the one that's worth the most points to him currently is, well, they're all worth 1 point. He can't send it here. So I'm guessing he's going to send, well, he's going to send it here because this one has an end game scoring condition, so it's worth 5 points more. So he's sending it here. Alright, so that's his 3 actions done. He does not have any Stardate cards, so we'll just put this one on the card that's worth the least to me. And that's going to be the holographic drone ship. And then it's back to me. Quark gives me another Latinum. I think I'm pretty good on Latinum, so I don't need that much more. And let's see what I'm gonna do. Well, first of all, let's play Jadzia, spending a Latinum to return the incident for a glory, and getting another glory because Quark likes to see people spend Latinum. Giving this card to Koloth. First thing done. Alright, I will then play Miles O'Brien because I have 6 military. I can use this bottom action. I can spend 1 dilithium to draw a ship from my discard pile and free play it. It's gonna be the Gear Cruiser, who will deploy, warp, and send an away team to its location. And it's nice to have this one, but Durna is also pretty good, and I don't want him to have it. So I'm going to send it here and send someone there. So that's my second full action. I will then play People of Bajor, sending an away team to a neutral location and spending 2 Latinum, send another one to the same location, sending both of them here. I do have to log this card. Alright, and then I have 1 card in hand, I have 1 action left. I could use Sisko to send an away team to deep space K7, but I am going to use the Bodians, gaining 1 influence, drawing a card which I can free play. I can free play this card, except it won't do anything, because it has to have, I have to choose a controlled location where I have an away team and a ship. So that's not doing anything, sadly. I will use Bajor to draw another card, which is Analyze. And let's see, I don't want to draw Strange New Worlds yet again, so I'm going to use the Defiant, discarding Analyze to beam Strange New Worlds to the Defiant. Yes, so that's me done. These are gone, these go to the discard pile. I don't have the Stardate cards. I see that I forgot to do... No, I didn't forget it because I just used Jadzia and... Nice. Wasn't that messy, luckily. So I will put 1 of these on... Let's see, what is he? Well, he's not likely to get the Kelpian, so I'm going to put it on there. I will draw 2 cards from my draw deck. I will shuffle my discard pile. And now I can buy a card from my development deck, which is really nice because these cards are very good. And I know which one I want to get. I will get the Orb of Prophecy and Change. This cost me 2 dilithium and 2 Latinum and 3 dilithium. It has some very nice effects. So it goes to the top of my draw deck. I had 2, 3, 4, 5. This will allow me to draw a lot of more cards. So that's my turn done. Let's see what Koloth will do. He does not control a location, he just has 1 away team out. So he will draw 4 cards now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the end of the turn he will wipe the markets. So first of all, we have an incident. He wants to gain a red card. There are no red cards, so he will then gain a person or a ship, whichever is worth more to him. They're, well, basically the same amount of points for him, so he will take this one. Zephram Cochrane is now working with the Klingons, getting replaced by Taylok. He will send an away team to a location. He can only send it here because there are ships at the other ones, and he does not have any ships there. I may draw a card, thank you very much, and he will return this card. First action done. Now, he drew the Doctor, Dr. Phlox. Doctor is not a tag on his card, so it's a person. He will discard the top card of the bot deck. He will then log the top card of the bot deck, which will be a card from the reserve. So this will be his new top card, and he will log it. It's not an incident, so it goes here. Then he will gain whichever is the lowest out of influence and military. It's influence. He will gain either a weapon if there is one available, and if not, it's a ship. Well, holographic drone ship does have a weapon on it, so he's gaining that one. And he's promoting the Doctor to his duty officer. So this card now flips. 2 more actions to go. So we have attack and weapon. Weapon is on the top here. So he will junk the most valuable card in the market. So it's a card without tokens. It's going to be this one. It's the most left one with the most value to me. He will then gain 1 military. He's at 6, so it's not 9 or more. And then he will have me remove an away team. It's going to be this one. Well, no, it's going to be this one. No, it's going to be this one. I'm still in control there. So removing this one there. Next action, it's a directive, and now because he has an away team, it's a little bit different. If he's able to do both, he would log a ship. He can't, he doesn't have a ship out, and remove an away team to take the top encounter. So, can't do that. So he will instead gain a glory, gain a military, and gain a person. And that's his actions done. So he will now check if there are any locations without any tokens. There are not, so everything stays. These cards, however, are all gone and get replaced by new ones. Now, a card came out with the tag Dominion. Sisko wants to have Dominion and Changeling cards out. I only have 1 Changeling in my deck. This is the first Dominion card. We're getting fairly close to the end of the game already, so I'm not sure if I will be able to get 3 out, so I'm likely not going to focus on that one. Let's see, that's his 3 actions done. He should still put a token on here. He's going to put it on Mirok, because that's worth the fewest points to me. And it's over to me. First of all, resupply, Quark gains me a Latinum. And then I can take control of Durna. I will. So I will discard the Dakir Cruiser. I will gain back my away teams. And because Koloth has had the away team there as well, he gains a glory. The new planet here is Regula 1. Now, taking control of this, I may spend 2 dilithium to scan for either a weapon or a doctor and then draw a card. I will scan for a weapon. There are no cards with weapon on here, so I'm going to scan the deck here. And the first card here is the Maglev as a weapon. So I can either put this in my discard pile or I can put it on top of my draw deck. I will draw a card anyway, so I could draw this. And I think I might as well, because yeah, that's synchronizes well with the Durna's ability itself. So I'm putting it on top of my draw deck and then I draw a card for the control action. Because I took control, I will activate Benjamin Sisko reaction to gain some dilithium. And that's my 3rd planet here. Alright, so currently I have 1 ship in play. Well, yeah, 1 ship in play. I want to have some more in play. So let's see. Well, first I will activate Bajor to draw cards. It's the Bodians. I will refresh a tag with card with tag Bajoran, which is going to be the planet Bajor, to draw another card, which is Kira. I will then let's see, can I somehow put a nice card on top of my deck to free play with the Bodians? I can either gain a ship, I can gain a cargo, I can gain an ally or a person, so I could basically gain anything. But they're not that interesting to me, although the Bird of Prey is pretty nice actually. I also would like to put out the Space Nine again, and Kira, and the Rio Grande. So, decisions to decisions. And I can still draw a card as well. So Miles O'Brien is in here, and I'm hoping he's going to be the top cards. So I'm going to play the Bodians, gaining 1 influence. I can draw cards, and I can free play the draw cards. Sadly it's not Miles O'Brien. I don't have any incidents in hands, but I can still play her for free, gaining the lowest of my tracks, which is going to be research. I could spend my Latinum to do it again, but I might want to save my Latinum to gain some more cards. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I will then play. No, I'm going to draw another card with Bajor. There he is, Mr. Miles O'Brien. I will play the Maglev, discarding a card, which is going to be the Deep Space Nine, to gain 1 military. I'm at 7 military now. Force my opponent to reveal their hand. They don't have any. I may discard an attack from their hand to gain a glory. I automatically gain a glory in this case. So, let's see. Durna allows me to beam a weapon from my hand or discard pile there. It would be 2 points for every weapon beamed there at the end of the game. So I want to make sure that this one is in my discard pile at some point, so that I can then beam it there. Alright, so I will play Miles O'Brien, spending 1 dilithium to draw a ship from my discard pile, which is Deep Space Nine. Or no, it's not going to be Deep Space Nine, it's going to be the Dukir Cruiser. I can free play this and then draw cards. And free playing the Dukir Cruiser means deploying and warping it. I may send an away team to the location. So let's put that one. That's K7. So I currently have 1, 2, 3 ships. Sorry, 2 ships in play, because Deep Space Nine is in my discard pile. Alright, let's see. I have quite a lot of cards in my hand still. I don't really need Skira anymore to gain more military, because I don't have any red cards that would benefit from that. So I will just play Set a Course. I can draw a card and then discard a card. So I shuffle my discard pile, which is just Deep Space Nine. And I will draw the card that I'm buying here, which will be going to be either Starbase 375 or Worf. I have cards in hand at the moment. So Worf would be nice to put some more away teams out. Well, let's take 375. So it's going to cost 4 dilithium, so that's 1 glory for 2 dilithium plus 2 more. And I'm going to draw this card and then discard a card. So let's discard utilize. I will then play analyze to gain 2 dilithium. I should have done that earlier. So let's say I did that before, and then I spend those 2 dilithium instead of spending the glory. And 1 more Now, I currently have one Bjorn in play, plus the wild cards, plus this one. So I have 3 Bjorns in play. I have 2 Starfleet in play at least. I have the Defiant and I have Yazia. So I have to exclude my captain. So if I had a ship at Bajor, I could then do Bajor's application to the Federation. So let's do that. I will spend 1 dilithium to warp the Defiant to Bajor, and I will complete my first mission, Bajor's application to the Federation. I can now trigger the control operation of one of my controlled locations. So that will be, well, might be the wormhole actually, because it lets me free play a ship. So I am doing the control no, sorry, that's the play operations. The control operation is looking at the locations. So that's not that it's no. So I will do the control location of Durna. I will spend 2 dilithium. I will spend a glorious dilithium to scan for a weapon or a doctor. So I'm going to scan for another weapon. Another weapon. This is a weapon. I'll put it in my discard pile. And I can then draw a card. So that's going to be Deep Space Nine. And I can refresh Bajor. So I will use Bajor to draw another card, which will be Julian Bashir, spending a glory as 2 dilithium. Shuffle these. But before I do that, I should beam this one to Durga for my discard pile. So shuffle these, shuffle, 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 draw this one. Then, still have that 1 action left. I will use that action to play Deep Space Nine. So I currently have 3 ships in play. And I will use Deep Space Nine to promote Julian to be my duty officer. He can't do anything at the moment, but it will be nice for the future. And I don't have any actions left. I do have some nice cards left, so I will play the Rio Grande to gain a dilithium, beam a card to a ship, so let's beam Kira to Deep Space Nine. And I will use the Kira Cruiser, discarding the Starbase to... No, I'm going to keep the Starbase, I'm going to keep these cards. So that's the end of my turn. I'll discard this one, I'll keep the Starbase in hands. These cards all go to my discard pile. I draw a card, shuffle my discard pile. I can get another card. Which will be Worf for another glory. I'm drawing 3 more cards. Worf plus 2 others. Nice. And that's everything done. So this token goes on the Karama. He gets this one, and we're closer and closer to the end of the game. Let's see what Koloth is gonna do. Probably something messy. So 4 actions, 1, 2, 3, 4. And he is not controlling any locations. His first will be the Koloth. It's a ship, he gains 1 influence. The ship gets deployed and it engages, so it actually goes to the location where I have most presence. It's going to be the space K7. He's going to send an away team to a neutral location. Joining it here. First action done. Now we have the directive. If he is able to do both, he can log a ship and remove an away team to take the top and counter. So he will indeed log a ship. The Koloth gets logged. It's removing an away team. And he gains the top and counter, which is a very high point 1 V'ger. Then he will log the directive and he will log his duty officer. So this one flips. 2 more actions to go. It's an attack. You will junk the most valuable card in the market, which is this one. He will then return the ship from the discard pile. There is one actually. To the top of the deck. So he's not destroying one of my ships, which is nice. And then his last card is going to be another directive. Discarding the top 3 cards of the bot deck. 1, 2, 3. Gaining a military. Taking an incident. And sending an away team to a neutral location. Now I can't send it here because he doesn't have a ship there anymore. This one will be worth the most points to him, so he's sending it there. Then he will clean up all of these. And put a token on the one that's worth least to me, which is going to be the Forced Singularity. Back to me. So I have these 5 cards in the hands. I don't have any resupply actions, but I will actually take control of this location, sending an away team back to Koloth, giving him glory. No effect for controlling it, but it currently is worth 1 point to me, and I'm activating Benjamin Sisko to gain 2 more dilithium. I can, as an activation, put a directive or security on the top of my deck to gain an extra action, which is very nice. But first, I will put into play Starbase 375. This one gets replaced. Solum, a very high point location. The Dekir Cruiser is now in my discard pile because it was on that location. And these go back to Sisko. Now, I am playing this one. Starbase 375. Taking control of the location, which means I can find the ship. So let's see what ship I have in my deck still. I don't have any, so I'm gonna find the Dekir Cruiser, which is in my discard pile. Now, the nice thing about Starbase 375 is after I put a ship in play, I can free play a person. So I am gonna play the Dekir Cruiser as my second action. Deploying it and then warping it to Solum. I can send an away team there. And after I did this, I can then free play a person. So I'm going to free play. Well, I'll first, before I do all of this, I should do some other stuff. Because I can draw a card with Bajor. Jadzia. I can use Miles' ability for 1 dilithium to find a person with Spy, or find a person with Augment, or find Miles O'Brien, or return an incident. So I am going to find Miles. Can't do any of the others. I am then going to use Miles to draw 2 cards, discarding one of them. And that's going to be discarding Quark. Let's see, I do want to draw some more cards actually. So let's play the Bonians, gaining me 1 influence, drawing cards, and free playing the draw cards. So I can free play this one, taking an incident to gain a ship, or discarding 2 cards to gain a cargo. I will take an incident to gain a ship. The Klingon ship currently is worth 2 points to me. So I'm playing this to my discard pile. Yes. Or actually to the top of my deck. So now I will play the Dakir Cruiser, warping it to Solom and putting an away team there. I will then activate Starbase 375, because after I put a ship in play, I can free play a person, which will be Worf. I can discard 2 cards to send 2 away teams to the same location. So I will discard 2 cards to send 2 away teams to the same location, securing Solom hopefully. Then I'm out of paid actions, but I have some more options. I have 1, 2, 3 ships in play. These 3 ships are in play. If I get a 4th one in play, I could do a call to arms. So I will use the activation of Deep Space K7, putting a directive on top of my deck to gain an action, which will be playing the USS Rio Grande and deploying it. Where's my token? There it is. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ships in play, which means I can do a call to arms. So I'll put a token on the call to arms. I have 4 ships in play. I have my military at 7. So I can now enlist the development, reducing the cost by 1 dilithium or latinum for each starbase I have in play. So we have the K7 starbase, we have the starbase 375, and we have Deep Space Nine. So I have 3 discounts, which means I will get the Orb of the Emissary. Enlisting means that you put it on top of your deck. So I'm spending 3 less, 1 latinum and 2 dilithium instead of 3 and 3. Nice. That means I'm out of cards, so I don't have the Stardate cards. I will put one of these in here, get all my tokens back, put all of these in the discard pile, and draw 5 more cards. 3, 4, 5. And next turn should be a very nice turn again. All right, back to Koloth. He has no control of any locations, so 1, 2, 3, 4 cards for him. And the first one is an incident. He wants to gain a red card. There are none, so he will gain either a person or a ship. Loaxana is worth more points to him at the moment. Who would have thought? He would then send an awaiting to a neutral location, which is going to be here. And I may draw a card. He's returning this one. So I draw cards. Next one is a person, a pilot, human, engineer. Those aren't on a straight, so he's doing the person thing, discarding the top card of the bot deck, logging the top card of the bot deck, so this gets shuffled and the top card from his reserve gets logged. And it's an incident, so it doesn't get logged. He would then gain the lowest one of either influence or military, which is influence, then gaining a weapon or a ship. There are no weapons out there, so he's gaining the ship. And this card gets promoted to duty officer. Done. 2 more cards to go. Directive. If able to do both, log a ship and remove an away team. He does not have any ships out, so he can't. So instead, he's gonna gain a glory, a military, and a person. And then the last one, it's an attack. He's going to junk the most valuable cards. So currently it's 1 for red cards, 1 for yellow cards. So it's going to be the allies. Then he wants to return a ship from the discard pile to the top of the bot deck. And he can, so that's done. And he triggers the end of the game, which is sad. I was hoping I could get 1 more turn, putting this one on here. So I have 1 more turn, and he has 1 more turn as well. So, first of all, any supply actions? No. So I see that I have a disconnect on one of my cameras. Hopefully it will come back. Now, yes. Nice one. So I can take control of Solon, which means I take an incident and put it on the bottom of my draw deck. The bottom of my draw deck is my actual draw deck, but it's worth 10 points, and as a reaction I will gain 2 dilithium. The ship goes to my discard pile as well, and I get back my away teams. So, first things first, I will use Julian, spending a dilithium to find Miles. And put back this one. And I don't have any incidents, so those don't do anything. I will then, let's see, draw a card, then discard a card. So I'm drawing the incident and discarding the weapon. And I can then warp up to 2 of my ships. I'm going to warp the Runabout and the Defiant to, well, any of these locations. He's not going to take control of any of them anyway. And let's see, I was going to draw a card and discard a card. I did that already, right? Yes. Then I will activate Durna to beam a weapon from my discard pile there. And let's see. Do I have an ambassador in play? I do not, but I can, of course, just beam a card to there. Now, I kind of want to get Strange New Worlds in play, which is currently beamed to the Defiant, which means I have to find a way to get the shuttle in my hand. So let's first activate Bajor to draw cards. spend 2 glory for Garrick. So that's 2 glory to draw cards. Sorry, that's not 2 glory, that's tapping Bajor. Then I will, let's see, play the Orb of Prophecy and Change, refreshing Bajor and drawing another card. I will then use Bajor again to draw cards. Sadly, still no shuttlecrafts. So I'll discard the cards, let's say Recruit, to beam the Orb of the Emissary to Kira on Deep Space Nine, which gives me a wild card. Yeah, playing Strange New World is the most fun option, I think. So I am going to use one action to play the Katinga Battlecruiser, deploying the ship itself. Let's see where it is. And I can send an away team to a location. So let's send an away team to location. Let's send it to this one. Because I play the ship, I can free play a person, which will be Miles O'Brien. So I can spend an lithium to draw a ship from my discard pile. Oh, it's my discard pile. So I will not spend that then. So I'll free play Garrick. Choosing 2 of the following, I can dismiss my opponent's duty officer and draw a card, which I will do. Dismissing the duty officer and drawing a card. I drew Wharf. And I can either gain, yes, I will do this. I will gain 1 influence. So that's my first action, playing this one and free playing that one. I will then draw 2 cards and discard one of them. That's the Gear Cruiser and the Bodians. I'll discard the Gear Cruiser. So I will use my second action to gain another influence, drawing a card that I can free play. So I'm free playing Jadzia, spending Glory as Latinum to return an incident and gaining back the Glory. So sadly, this is my runabout. Oh no, my runabout is here, I deployed it, that's the thing. So I couldn't beam that one back anyway. So no exploring Strange New World, sadly. So I can either play Wharf and send 2 away teams to a neutral location, which is basically 2 points. Could also put him into play. Oh, no, I can't because I used that one already. Could gain a cargo, which is not worth that much points from me. Could gain a ship, but that's also not that interesting. No, I think I may have slightly misplayed this, but well, as long as we are having fun, that's okay. So let's see, tokens. I have 2 yellow, so I could go to 3, except I don't think I have any yellow cards. Oh, I do have 1, so that's 1 more point for this. That's more points. Gaining cargo is also not worth it. Ship isn't worth it either. So I'll use the wormhole, discarding a person to warp a ship. So now I can't send any away teams without having a ship there either. I'll gain 2 more dilithium. I'm playing Analyze, and I'll play Utilize as my last action, giving me either a lot of Latinum or some steps here. So I'm going to take 2 steps on the yellow because I have 2 yellow icons. And that's my last action there. Yes. All right, so end of turn. I don't have the Stardate cards. I will have to put one of these somewhere here. Let's put it on here. I will draw 1 card, spending 3 dilithium and glory to get this one, and 3 more cards from the deck. Although those don't really matter. Then, last turn for Koloth. 1, 2, 3, 4 actions for him. He can't take control of any locations, but he draws an alien anomaly ship. Those aren't on his card, so he's just doing the ship part. He deploys the ship, which explores. And as I have presence everywhere, he'll just go to the most valuable location, which is here. Let's see, and he will send an away team there as well. Then we have an attack. Junk the most valuable card in the markets. Both are worth the same, but this is the most left one. If able, I have to return a ship from discard to the top of his draw deck. He can't. So I have to dismiss a ship. I might as well dismiss Deep Space 9 because that's not giving me any points. And these ones are. Alright, so that's the attack done. Then the incident, he wants to gain a red card. He can. He will send an away team to a neutral location, which will be here. I may draw cards for A, and he returns the incident. And his last action is a directive, discarding the top 3 cards of the bot deck, gaining a military, also gaining an incident, and sending another away team over there. So that's the game done. All we have to do is score. And let's see, it's a messy place with Sisko versus Koloth. I have 3 glory because I spend a lot of them buying things. Koloth has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Presence on locations, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and he has 6. Then red text on cards. For me, only the cards that are in play counts. For him, every card counts. So are there any cards with red text? And game text? It seems there are not. No, so nothing for him there. For me, I have two. I have Sisko and I have Durner. Durner says it's worth 2 points for every weapon beamed here, so that's 4. And Sisko is worth 1 point for every location that I control. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 locations plus 4 is 10 points for me and 0 for Koloth. Then we count points on cards. So his reserve and available cards are always worth no points, except for the incidents that are worth minus points or negative points. Yellow one. So he has -2 plus -7, 8, 9, 11, 14, 15 points here. He does not have any blue cards, which would have been worth 1 point each. His yellow track is just over ×2, so he has 2 × 2, 4 for influence. And for military, he's at ×4, so that's 12 points here, for a grand total of 16, 31, 35, 47. Now, I have to do the same for my deck. And I bought everything, all of my developments. So I think I might have won this, but let's see if this is true. So let's divide these up in the same way. Points, points, points. Solon is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting points wise, worth 10 points. So I have 2, 4, 7, 14, 24, 26, 28, 30, 33. Then blue cards, I'm at, no points for blue. I have 1 blue card, but it's ×0. Yellow cards are ×3, so that's 6 more points here. And red cards, 2 of them, are worth just 1 point for me, sadly. So I might have played Kira 1 more time. So that's just 2 points here. I do have 2 missions completed. Call to Arms is worth 4 points. Bejos application to the Federation is 5. So that's another 9, which is 9, 11, 17, 50, 60, 67 to 47. All right, so thanks very much for watching. I'm very proud of you for keeping up with all this messy plays. This game is fantastic to me. It's one of my favorite games ever. Before I played this, SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, was my game of the year. This has beat it by a mile. It's a combination of theme and gameplay. This is my 36th play. I am hoping to play many, many more of these. And I'm hoping to find some expansions out next year as well. Maybe even with Captain Kirk in it, but who knows. For now, thank you for watching. Let me know if you like these kinds of plays. I'm not really planning to do a lot of these, but I had a lot more fun than I thought I would. Let me know if you had fun as well. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.